In Edo State, Assembly approves death sentence for kidnapping. Edo State House of Assembly has passed the State Kidnapping Prohibition Law 2025, approving the death sentence for offenders. The bill, sponsored by Majority Leader Charity Aigo Basegian, was considered clause by clause after a motion seconded by Minority Leader Henry Okaka. Lawmakers amended the 2013 law, which previously prescribed life imprisonment and confiscation of property used for kidnapping. The new amendment imposes a stiffer penalty of death sentence while retaining the confiscation of property. In another development, the Assembly passed a bill to repeal the Edo State Electricity Law 2022, paving the way for the establishment of the Edo State Electricity Market. The Edo State Electricity Regulatory Commission and the Edo Electrification Agency. Meanwhile, Mrs. Kenny Okoje has been confirmed as chairman of the governing board of the Edo State Primary Healthcare Development Agency. Okay, so what do you make of this story? You know, over time we've had people, especially when videos go online on social media, where they say that these people kidnapped. Even this morning I got to see, I think it was in Abuja or in Lagos precisely, 3 men were trying to kidnap people in a particular area, and then they were caught and then they were being beaten. And you know, oftentimes when these videos go viral, people tend to say that, okay, beating them is not enough, they should be killed, they should be, you know, jungle justice and all of that. So now that the government is now approving death sentence for kidnappers, is this something that we should all be happy for, excited about?
Well, the issue of death penalty for crimes is highly debatable.
Yeah.
First of all, we need to commend the lawmaker for bringing up such a bill. It shows that she is concerned about the security of the state and the security of the society at large. But death penalty, is it? I didn't get the details of the bill.
Okay.
And now, do we have any clause that says if the person
is guilty,
kills the victim, or if the victim dies in their custody, something like that. Now, if somebody is caught kidnapping someone, I think we should go for life in prison. That's the highest punishment, the highest penalty we can give the person should be life in prison. And then if maybe the person commits murder in the process, maybe death penalty can go. But even in death penalty, in many countries, even in cases where murder was involved, the death of victims is involved, they always sentence the person to life in prison. But this particular one now, that we don't have the details, whether he's talking about somebody that kills his victim, or somebody that, you know, maybe the kidnapping leads to the death of the person, or maybe the person, after the person is recovered from the kidnappers, and the person goes through trauma, goes through a lot of things, and dies. So you trace the origin of the death, and if it gets to the kidnappers, they should face the consequences. But when you arrest a kidnapper, you sentence the person, you charge the person to court. The court should determine the fate.
So sir, in other words, you're saying that it only has to be a case of death sentence when the victim is dead. Do we have to wait for the victim's death before?
We don't have to. I think what they are trying to do is to bring up strict laws, or stricter, harsher laws that can deter these people from kidnapping. I don't think all these things will deter them from kidnapping. What will deter them is the system, if the system is working. What if they capture or they arrest a kidnapper? At the end of the day, nothing happens.
Okay.
Are they going to tell us that there will not be a case like that?
But it also brings us back to the same thing that you said, where you mentioned that it would be better if the kidnapper is being sentenced to life imprisonment. Isn't there a possibility that, just like you said, if the system is not corrupt, isn't there a possibility that these people can still go court-free?
No, there's every possibility for that.
So why don't you think the death sentence is better?
So immediately the person is arrested, they execute the person.
No, obviously, if the person is guilty as charged, don't you think death penalty is enough? Do we have to wait for the death of the victim before?
For me, this is my personal opinion. I don't believe that is better. Is the best option. If the person is is caught kidnapping somebody, and you decide to execute the person, we need to go through the court process or the court processes. Then, if the person is found guilty of somebody's murder, you can sentence the person can face execution.
But sir, you know that we've had, talking about going through court processes and court orders, we've had cases, several cases. There's even one recently of one Mr. Timeni, that the one that caught the girlfriend's part into, that is still going through court process.
So at the end of the day, this one there is nothing to justify the killing.
But there's an obvious attempt of kidnapping.
Good, but at the end of the day, somebody lost her life. The girl lost her life.
So these people that are being kidnapped, what do you think will be done to them? If it's definitely going to end up in death. If the kidnapper succeeds in getting the victim, it's still going to end up in death. So do we have to wait till it gets to that point before we can now? Yes, that's my point.
Well, what if somebody is wrongly accused of kidnapping?
Okay.
Before you can, carry out some investigations or charge the person to court to go through the court processes, before you can do that, the person is already executed.
No, I don't think that the leadership or the government was talking about sentencing that person that when they're not certain. I think they're talking about after going through all of the processes. In
problem solving, you get to the root, you start from the root. According to Christopher Okibo, in one of his poems, he said, except by rooting, who can pluck out yam tubers from the base? Okay. You need to get to the root of what is the cause of kidnapping in Nigeria. Unemployment is one of them. Poverty is one of them. And maybe talk about depression, mental illnesses, and so on and so forth. So we need to start solving problems instead of complicating problems in this country. They need to get to the root of kidnapping. Why are people going into kidnapping? Then we solve those things. After that, when you just like providing a good life to your child, after you have provided a good life to your child, you now place a higher expectation for your child. So that is how we can make things right in this country. We are human, we are not saints, but there are things we can put in place that can make everybody begin to behave. Everybody will begin to behave well. So that is my own opinion, but I'm not writing them off. I'm not writing their own opinion off. But they need to consider some things before they bring up some bills, some laws.
Okay, but sir, what's the assurance that the eradication of or the provision of job opportunities and all of that would completely
the creation of a better society,
eradicate
the
kidnapping?
Creation of a better society. I know that there's no society that is perfect. Even all the advanced nations, none of them is perfect.
Perfect. Yes.
You still have people that are misbehaving, that are behaving in one bad way or the other. But generally, you see that the society is good. Everybody is satisfied. I have a friend in Germany. He told me that nobody cares, nobody envies you. If you are driving a Range Rover or any big car, nobody cares because everybody is happy. They believe that the life they have is okay for them. But here, you know, when you have the chasm or the boundary, the distance between the rich and poor is very far. It's too far, or it's too big. You see that all these things will be.
Okay, so you're of the opinion that life imprisonment will be better than death sentence in the case of people cause kidnapping.
If it is effective. Okay. We want a system that is working, and not just getting. Okay, now. How sure are you that you are going to get the kidnappers? Do we have the system that can hold these people, that can always capture these people, no matter where they are? We often hear American presidents say if you come after Americans, we come after you. It may take time. We have long memories, and our reach has no limit. Can we promise that kind of system? No matter where kidnappers are hiding in this country, we will always find them. Do we have that kind of system? These are the things we need to talk about first. Okay. Before we now talk about death penalty. All these things, it's part of jungle justice. So we always blame the masses that lynch people, that pounce on people, that burn people. But our leaders, if you look at the kind of bills, the kind of policies they make, you see that everybody has the same mentality. Okay. This is not the problem. Don't participate. I told my cousin when I was in Owerri, he just told me that he was going somewhere, that somebody that stole another person's BlackBerry. That time BlackBerry was raining. That they had caught the person. I said, so what are you going there to do? You want to go and beat the person? So don't try that kind of rubbish. Don't go and join hands to kill the person. That is not the solution. We need to find out why people are misbehaving, why people are stealing, why people are pickpocketing, and solve the problem. I think this is my own stand. I've been saying this thing all the time. This is how we can make our society a better place for everybody.
Okay, thank you very much.